inside lane, missing exits, I'm glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire, no more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. It's time to break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words, stop stalling in the doorway. Cancel the cruise control, switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel? Full steam through the setbacks. You can't win them all, but I'm proud I tried. I'm glad we had a dialogue. It's good to shape the mind. Speeding up the pace, turning up the heat. Where I need to be for the first time. I'm taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words, stop stalling in the doorway. Cancel the cruise control, switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel? Don't you wanna, don't you wanna, don't you wanna feel break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling. I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. I want you back. I want.
Good morning, traders. What's up and what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And happy Friday. I was going to play some sad music in the background because, number one, it's Friday. And I don't like Fridays. You want to know why? Because I love being here with you guys. I love trading stocks. I love making money. And I love watching you make money. So I absolutely dread the weekends because I love being here with you guys in the market. And why am I so sad today? Why am I even more sad? Not only because it's Friday, but what is Monday? It's a holiday, baby. It's a freaking holiday. So we do not have Money Monday coming on up, team, but we will have Money freaking Tuesday, and we will make it the best Money Tuesday ever. So hit me with a big old good morning. And how we all doing today? Welcome back. Happy Friday. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thursday night. I hope you guys are fired up for a great day today, because we are going to make it happen. We are going to end this week on a strong note, and we are going to lock in some big time profits, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are going to be locking in some big time profits. So what's up, Mr. Steve? Steve Carby, Trading Hunter, Kits King, Big B, Jay Doss, Mr. Corey, Ron, Johnny, Holmes, Ken. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls inside of chat, what's up, what's going on, and happy Friday. Hit me with a big old good morning over on YouTube. Who do we have over on YouTube today supporting that stream? We got Mr. Andrew, Steve, Charlie, Christopher, Christian, what's up, Phil, Matt, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new here to YouTube, if you are from TikTok, you are new, this is your first time on this stream, do us a huge favor, show us the love, show us the support, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. We go live every single day, Monday through Friday, right at 8:50 until 9:45 to get you prepared for the day, to talk about the markets, so you understand what's going on, why the stocks are moving the way they're moving, so you know exactly where to put your focus and where the money is. So again, team, don't miss out. We go live every single day, absolutely free, to help traders like you find success in the stock market. So you do not want to miss these streams. And if you are not here, you are missing out. I'm giving you over an hour a day, absolutely free, of nothing but value bombs, nothing but education, nothing but stock picks, you name it. So again, don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and be with us every single morning as we continue to do this like we've been doing this for the past year and a half now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Mike, 420, Jesse, Armando, Clayton, Hamas. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're getting ready to dive into it. Mr. Kin saying smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I agree. Smash the like button. All right, let's talk about what we have going on for today. What do we have going on in this beautiful market, right? I started singing there a little bit. We're going to start with top penny stocks. We're going to bleed on over into the SPY and the Qs, talk about what I think is going to happen in the market today. And then we're going to talk about some back burners, all right? Not too many back burners. We got about 3 to 4 really nice stocks, all right? So number one, we have KZIA, ladies and gentlemen. KZIA shares are trading higher after the company announced FDA orphan drug designation for Paxlovid. Paxlovid. Good job, buddy. There we go. So what's the main thing we need to take away from this? Paxlovid, or whatever that word is not really what we need to take away from this press release. What do we need to take away? What are our key words here? FDA orphan drug designation. That is the key word in this press release. It's like a 2 to 3 star keyword. It's a decent keyword. It's a decent press release that gets these stocks going. But just here on the 3rd, we have positive phase 2 data in regards to breast cancer. Now they're getting FDA orphan drug designation. This stock has every reason to be a runner today, right? News on the 3rd, news again today. This stock has a reason to get some action, right, guys? Absolutely. So let's see if KZIA can actually get some hype. We're up 23% at this point in time, guys. 3 million shares traded, on average 33,000 shares. So we absolutely have the attention. We absolutely have that volume, and it's a nice low float stock as well, coming in under 10 million in float. I absolutely 110% want to be watching KZIA today. Fantastic press release. And once again, we have some great volume, nice low float stock. We could absolutely see this thing rip and run. So where could we see it rip and run to? That's the $1 million question. Josh, all right, I get it. The stock right now has so much potential, but where's this thing going? How high can it go? How low can it go? That's the million-dollar question. So right now we have support. We can see daily support at $6. Boom, bounce, $6. Boom, bounce, $6. A lot of resistance at $6. So I'd say let's watch this above $6. Now, where could we see this go to the upside? Well, we got that spiking high here, right around 7. It's also that low here, right around 7. And $7 is a psychological level. So again, $7. And then I see 822, 824 being the 200 SMA. But our spiking high here in pre-market was $7.98. So I'm going to say $7.98. All right, $7.98 here on KZIA. So we want to watch this above $6. We have room to 7, and then we could see this up towards around 8. Now, if this ever breaks that high of $7.98, $8, where could we see this go? Well, you have your 200-day moving average at 824, and then you're looking at these highs here around 860 on KZIA, right? So right now we're simply just watching this above $6, and now we're waiting for the stock to set up to give us an opportunity for a trade. So again, back down around 6, definitely a level I would want to keep KZIA on watch. All right, so that's KZIA. Definitely going to be watching that one, team. All right. Next, REV for sure. REV. So we got some market chatter that it could be acquired by India's Reliance Industries. Okay, so we do have some market chatter after this company's been reportedly filing for bankruptcy. Their stock dumped. The stock's been bouncing a few days. Now it's getting even more hype and even more volume because there is some chatter that it could be acquired here on REV. So again, the stock has had some movement this week. Now we have a credible reason for this stock to actually be moving once again today. I want this stock to really prove itself for me first. I really do. I'm not going to be touching this stock until it's above 360. And the reason I'm not going to be touching the stock until it's above 360 is because you got a lot of resistance at 360. So you have these lows here from May 24th and May 25th at 360. Right? You have your 20 EMA right around 353, that 360 level. So I'm not looking to trade REV personally until it's actually trading above 360. So if we can break above 360 and 360 resistance turns into 360 support, I see a lot of potential to the upside. I see room to $4. I see room to 483 and then 5 on REV. But right now, if we don't break 362, I see that this thing can dump back to 265. So I am not touching this stock until it's above 360 because I don't want to be in this and just watch it dump all the way back down to this 267 and then maybe back down to some of yesterday's levels as well, around $2. So it has to be above 360 for me to even think about a trade on REV. And if it is holding above 360, we have potential to 4 and then 483 here on REV. It is leading the board right now, right? It's up 73% at this point in time, trading 14 million shares. Nice low float stock as well. Again, 7 million in float. REV should be a top stock on everybody's watch list, 100%. KZIA, absolutely. REV, absolutely. And I do want to watch ADN as well. Okay, so ADN was a big mover yesterday, right? I took this trade yesterday with the intentions to get to $5. Now, yes, this was the trade I was doing a lesson on. This was the trade that I completely spaced. I had a position open as I'm in the middle of the lesson. This is the trade that I was up like $700 or $800, and I walked away with $40. However, I told you guys as well at the start of the day, I'm also taking a position on my Fidelity account. Smaller size, set it and forget it. Said I'm buying it right here. Stops under low a day. Set it and forget it. If we do indeed hit some of my levels and my targets, I could use some of that profit to offset my long-term losses. So what was I doing? I was buying this at the same time I was buying on my main day trading account. Now, yes, I did not turn a profit on my day trading account because I simply forgot during the lesson. I was able to turn a nice profit here on my long-term account off that day trade. Again, I was taking profit at 422, 430. I posted that screenshot inside a chat yesterday. So yes, I did capitalize on this entire move that I was talking to you guys about yesterday. Right? I was buying in around the $293 level, and I rode this stock all the way over $4, looking for 5, but I started to get out completely as we started to see a lot of weakness around $4. So again, it was a great trade. And if you guys took that with me, congratulations, right? Congratulations. That was a solid trade. We took that for over $1 a share. It was amazing. ADN also looks good today. All right. I like ADN, right? I like the fact that we are pulling back, bouncing off yesterday's resistance, pulling back, bouncing off yesterday's resistance, pulling back, trying to bounce and hold off yesterday's resistance as support. So I definitely want to keep this one on watch just to see if we get a strong bounce off this 337 level, break that downtrend back up to yesterday's highs. Another good day to the upside. I could definitely see that. However, what formation consists of lower highs with flat support? What kind of pattern consists of lower highs and flat bottom support? The same pattern I was telling you guys about this morning on SIDU and how I wanted to short that pattern, and I did short that pattern on SIDU this morning. What kind of pattern could this end up being on ADN? Again, just like we saw here on SIDU. Steve, descending triangle. Yes, a descending triangle formation consists of lower highs with flat bottom support. Eventually, 80% of the time, they crack that level of support and start fading and falling. That's why I called out SIDU this morning. I said, team, descending triangle. I'm looking to short this stock down into the 650s. This is a good trade. I want it. I like it. I think there's potential. I took that short on SIDU. All right, so if we do start cracking that 337, excuse me, guys, one sec. All right, thank you. So if we do start cracking that 337 level, I think we could start pulling back into the 280s here on ADN. But there's still that chance, because this is day number 2, there's still this chance that we actually hold this 337, break the downtrend, rip back up to those highs. But if we do indeed start cracking this level of support here, right around 334, 335, don't be surprised if you see this thing dump back down to 3 and then 280 here on ADN. And yes, I would be looking to locate some shares on ADN for the short. Actually, it's easy to borrow today. I don't have to locate anything, which is fantastic. I would absolutely look to short ADN just like I took the short here on SIDU. So I was just scaling in, being patient. If it would have broken this downtrend with volume, I would have gotten out. But again, I'm getting in, scaling in, scaling in. We have the crack, we have the drop. It flushed over 60 cents is what I was able to turn on SIDU. If we look at ADN, how low could we go? Well, we can go from 330 back down to 3 and then 280. We can turn about a 30 to 50 cent profit here on ADN. So I'm definitely watching ADN long and short. If we start cracking this support level off the descending triangle, you best believe I'm shorting it. But if we are holding on up, looking to break the downtrend, we're looking to take this long back to 4 and then into yesterday's resistance in the 440s. SIDU is done now at this point in time. I may still watch it. Let me back up. I may still watch SIDU. And the reason for that is, again, we just cracked support. So what does support turn into? Resistance. We are sitting right at 650. So if SIDU, for some reason, does this, okay, if SIDU does this out of the gate, I would look for another short. So we all know what just happened on SIDU, correct? We just cracked that descending triangle formation. We came right down into 650 support. And since then, we have just been sitting right at 650 support. So if we open on up and see a push back into the 685 prior support new resistance level, that's also going to put us right around this downtrend. So if we see 650 hold and we see it bounce out of the gate back into the 685, 690 level, that's going to be right around it's going to be right around that level of support, which would be new resistance, and it's also going to put you right at this downtrend resistance. I would look for another possible short on SIDU for it to eventually come down, crack 650 down to this 583 level. And that's going to be the next level of support here on SIDU, would be down here around this 583. So again, 650, hold on up, bounce out of the gate, back up into that descending triangle support, right? Right around that we'll just call it 690, right? Keep it simple, 690-ish. That was the descending triangle support. If we bounce back up and it turns resistance, and we also tap this downtrend, I am looking for a low risk short around $6.90 to $7, keeping stops nice and tight for this thing to roll back on over, fall back down to 650, eventually crack 650, dump on down into the 590s. Okay, so I'm definitely looking for a possible short once again on SIDU. All right, so that's what we've got with SIDU, and the same thing applies to ADN for this possible descending triangle formation. And if this starts working on out here in pre-markets, you may see me say, hold on, one moment, I'm taking a trade. So if I say, hold up, 1 second, guys, you may see me jumping into a trade here on ADN, just so you guys are fully aware. It's easy to short. I have an order typed up, ready to go. All I have to literally do is click, sell, and then I would be in, okay? So if you hear me say, hold up, I'm in, I will put my focus on this trade because I'm not playing around with size. I would probably take probably 5, 6, 7,000 shares on this stock. Maybe a little bit more because it's only $3. So we'll see. All right, so we have KZIA. We've discussed it. You guys know what to expect, what we have going on. REV, you know what we have and what we have going on and our plan for that. ADN and SIDU. All right. A back burner at this point in time is AERC, and a back burner at this time is ATHX. So again, we're not talking back burners yet. Right now, I want you to focus on the stocks with the best potential. And once again, that's going to be SIDU. That's going to be ADN. That's going to be REV. That's going to be KZIA at this point in time. All right, let's talk about the SPY and the Qs. All right, let's talk about the SPY and the Qs. And look at that. Look at that. Man, oh man. This is why it pays to be inside a chat. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This is why it pays to be here. 100%. Like, I mean, guys, look at this. This is nuts. I was a little bit more thorough in Stock Talk. I was a little bit more thorough here. I'm trying to find the messages that I was posting up this morning. But we were talking about the SPY and the Qs, right? I'm 100% leaning to the short side on the Qs and the SPY today off those bear flags that we are forming. Qs have resistance at this 274.75. We're looking to play the shorts as long as it stays below resistance and cracks the uptrend. And again, I posted this up a little bit more thoroughly this morning. You know, again, at this time, we have a very nice 1 hour bearish flag on the SPY. Resistance is here at 369.43. Trendline support, looking for the rejection off resistance, and then proceed to crack this uptrend. This will validate the flag, and we can start to see the next leg down to yesterday's lows, right? Full breakdown, resistance levels, trendline support, the crack, the validation, where to make your entry, all that good stuff. Again, we were all set ready to rock and roll. What do we just see here on the SPY? Well, we are starting to move much lower from where we were just at, from 369 to 365.90. So right now, we are starting to form and play on out that bear flag. So I still think we have room down to yesterday's lows. I do. We have room down to yesterday's lows and then 362.11. Resistance is still 369.43. So that's your key level of resistance here on the SPY, 369.43. Like I was saying this morning, if we cannot break above this level and then we proceed to crack this trend line, we're going to be coming back down to yesterday's lows of 364.08. What's very important to understand today in the market? What do we have going on today in the market that everybody should be aware of? Everybody should know what it means. Ladies and gentlemen, what is important about today, Friday the 17th? Witches are afoot. Quad witching, triple witching. What does that mean? Do you guys know what that means? I hope you guys do. We talked about it once every 3 months. So it happens 4 times a year on the 3rd month. So at the end of every quarter on the 3rd Friday, you have stock options, stock index options, and futures contracts all expiring on the same day. That leads to an increase in volume and an increase in volatility in the market. We're already seeing a lot of volume in the market. There's already tons of volatility, and this just heightens it even more. On top of that, we are very bearish in this market, guys. Have you looked at the P call recently? Have you guys looked at the P call recently? We are really bearish in the market. So we're really, really bearish in the market. I mean, the market's heavy with puts compared to calls, okay? Heavy with puts compared to calls. The market's already dropping. The market's already volatile. There's tons of volume. Now we have triple witching today, which brings in more volume and more volatility. There's going to be some moves today. There's going to be some opportunity today in the market, guys. So get prepared. Play it safe. Be patient. But team, when I say there's going to be opportunity, there is going to be some opportunity today. So I'm very excited. So again, today, triple witching or quad witching. Again, it's the expiration of stock index futures. Futures contracts, options, and index option contracts expiring on the same exact day, and that is today. So again, we know exactly what we were expecting with the SPY, and we absolutely nailed it. Okay, so the SPY, we were talking about that resistance level at 369.43, and if you put the SPY on a higher time frame, you see it was simply in a bear flag. It's so easy. It was in a bear flag. Nice big drop on down, guys, right? Consolidating to the upside with light volume in a flag-like formation into a level of resistance, also being validated with a Fibonacci level as well. So again, this was just one of the cleanest, most textbook bear flags that I think I've seen in quite some time. It really was. So again, I mean, nice big drop, nice big, not big bounce, but nice consolidation in this flag formation right into a level of resistance, into a Fibonacci level as well. It was just super clean. It was super valid. It was awesome. I really am upset I didn't take that trade because I would have probably went over on SQQQ. You guys know how I trade those inverse ETFs. As the Qs were cracking that trend line, I would have been going long on SQQQ. That'd be up about $1.50 right now. You guys know how I trade. And that's definitely something, if I was paying attention at that time, I would have definitely taken that all day, shorten the spine, the Qs, going long on SQQQ for sure. But there's still going to be some opportunity today, guys. All right, but that's what we have going on. That's why the SPY is starting to roll on over at this point in time. We could not break above 369.43 resistance. We cracked that trend line support out of that bear flag formation. And right now, the only logical place for this to come down to before it bounces is yesterday's lows of 364.08. And if we do crack below that 364.08, you will probably be coming down to that 362.11. And what's really cool about that 364.08 level, guys, that was the level that we marked up like 2 weeks ago. Everybody's asking, Josh, what if we start cracking below 370? Where are we going? And I said, right around that 364 is the next logical place for the SPY to come down to. It came down to 364 yesterday and bounced. So again, that's a good, strong level of support. But if we crack that good, strong level of support at 364, the next great, strong level of support on the SPY is 362.11. All right, so that's where I'd see the SPY coming down to next, would be 362.11 and then 359.64. All right, the Qs, resistance, 274.75. We cracked the trend line. We're rolling over. The next logical place for this to come down to, you got a couple logical places. I would say right here at 271.12 is a decent place to see the Qs come down to and bounce. But below that level, you're coming down to yesterday's lows of 269.28. Now, the million-dollar question is, Josh, what if we crack below yesterday's lows? How much lower could the Qs go? All right, let's go ahead and find out. All right, look left. All right, that's all we do is we look left. Those that say TA doesn't work, they don't know how to do TA. Look left, okay? So right now, I would see the Qs coming down to 266.96. Okay, that's exactly how we got that level on the SPY, by looking left, right? It's not just some magical number I pulled out of my you know what and just threw it on a chart and said this is it. Comes right from the chart, right? Look at that 364 level, guys. Look at that 364 level. Significant point. It's an extreme. 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 Lows a day. Support. Look at that. Resistance, 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 support, support, support. Right? It's no wonder it came down to that level and held pretty much to the penny. So look left. So as we're looking left, what's the next logical place to see the SPY come down to? We're looking for multiple touches, multiple points, supply, demand, imbalance, balances, whatever you guys want to call it. We're looking for those multiple points. Right here. How many points do we have? Boom. Right there. 1, 2, 3. So we can see that we're going to come down probably right around that 359.64 level as our next realistic level of support here on the S&P. So again, just look left, look at your levels, and that's how we do it. And that's how we nailed that 364. So under 364, I'm looking at 362.11 underneath this lower shadow right here. And then I'm looking down towards around that 359.64 here on the SPY. Those are going to be your lower levels of support. And then the same thing with the Qs. You have your lower levels of support as well. Just remember, increase in volatility, increase in volume. It is triple witching day. Some call it quad witching. It's all the same thing. Triple witching, quad witching. Basically, it's just those index options, those stock options, and futures contracts all expiring on the same day. All right. So again, it just brings in more volatility and more volume to the market. On top of that, the VIX is at a 33 almost, so there's more fear. On top of that, the P call is just, the ratio's so many more puts than calls in the market. And if you have all those options expiring today, I'm not the options expert, guys. All right. I'm really not the options expert, but I just try to think logically and simplicity. So correct me if I'm wrong, and please do, because I could be way off in left field. I stick to my lane. I'm going to speculate here for a second. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I'm going to speculate. I'm going to be vulnerable. I don't know what I'm talking about. But again, I'm always here to learn. I'm always here to share my ideas and get you guys to engage, to put me on the right track, like I get you guys on the right track 99.9% of the time, all right? Again, I'm not the options guy. I don't know a lot about options. So again, if you have the P call, right? The P call, the put to call ratio. Obviously, we can see there is way too many puts than calls in the market. There are more puts than calls in the market at this point in time. And with all of these options expiring today, what type of impact do you think that could cause on the market? Do you think that'd be more of a bullish impact where all of these put options expire today and we see the markets bounce due to that volume moving in? Or do you think that would cause the markets to drop, and why? Joe said that's why 100% it will end green and puts will get destroyed because there's way too many puts in the market. There are so many more puts than calls in the market with triple witching day. So again, I just absolutely love. I know when the P call, I know what the P call represents. When you have more puts than calls in the market, you typically get a bounce. When you have more calls than puts in the market, you typically get a drop. Everybody knows that. So we know how to utilize and what the P call represents, but add the P call with current market conditions on top of triple witching, right? We've never really had this scenario where the P call was this high with triple witching when we already have volatility and volume. This is new to me, right? There is something to learn every single day in the stock market. Just when you think you know everything, something new happens. That's why I love this career. And that's why I love being okay with not knowing everything and having the mindset that I will never know everything. I'm always wanting to learn something new. And this is new to me, right? Current market conditions. It's been a while since we've seen this. With the P call so high on a triple witching day, what does that give us? Do we have an edge in the market to say it's going to bounce or it's going to drop? I'm leaning more towards it would bounce side, because I know when the P call is extended like this, when there are more puts than calls in the market, I know that we typically see a bounce. But with all of this excess volatility and volume due to the expiration, what additional cause and effect could that produce? All right, is that going to bring in more volume because people are forcing to cover. They're getting exercised. Again, options traders, break it down a little bit. For those of you that are focused on options 24/7, break it down. All right, this is all good stuff. I love it. How can you make a profit when the stock is down? You can short the stock, right? Like SIDU. How can you make a profit when the stock is down? So you can do what you call is shorting a stock, basically borrowing shares to sell to the market and then rebuying them back at a lower price, and you get to keep the difference. You can short it, and that's what I did today on SIDU. As you can see, my P&L's not up there. Give me 1 second. That P&L should be default moving forward on the live stream at all times, right here at the top. But I did have a power surge yesterday. I'm sure you guys in chat knew that because the stream dropped for like 10 minutes. So we had a little bit of a power surge. And every now and then that throws off my streaming tool on where it captures everything like that. So give me a second. Let's see if we can get that profit up real quick. If not, I'll just pull it down for the day. I'll manually just pull it down. Look, I'll just come up here and I'll just literally grab it and just pull it down if I have to. But where is... Here we go. All right, one sec, because I don't actually want it on my screen, because if it's on my screen, I see it, and I don't want to see my P&L. How does that look? Is that good? Is that good on the screen? I can't see it. Fantastic. Yes. So again, I shorted SIDU. This was something I called out inside a chat today that I'm going to be shorting this for the descending triangle formation. And yes, I was very aggressive on the trade. I was scaling in, scaling in, scaling in. I was in this trade for a very long time. I was in this trade for almost an hour. Literally, I was in this trade for almost a full hour, and I was just piecing in little by little. 500 shares here, 600 shares there, 1,000 shares here, 200 shares there, right? I was just piecing in little by little by little, getting a very nice cost basis, looking for that crack down into the 650s, and that's where I was covering, 650, 660. So it was a fantastic trade, right? I wasn't expecting all that much. I honestly wasn't even expecting to get that kind of position. But as it started to bounce higher against me, I started to add to it, add to it, add to it. And before you know it, I built a pretty good position at a really nice cost basis. Yeah, the stop would have been nice. It would have been a decent little stop loss. But I knew that my reward outweighed my risk, and it was a risk I was willing to take. So it felt good. It felt good getting back into the zone. It felt fantastic. Finally getting a trade that worked in my direction with the size that I'm used to taking from like last year before I started changing things up. It felt fantastic. It really boosted my confidence. I'm not going to lie. My confidence went from here back up to here because I've been working hard to remake that transition back to the way I trade. And it felt good. And I've been working hard on this for a while. So it felt great. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to own it. I love it. It's definitely putting me in the right mindset and the right confidence to move forward, to continue to have similar days like this consistently. So I'm excited. But yeah, so again, I shorted the stock. I borrowed shares that I didn't own. Basically sold them to the open market. Got a credit to my account. Stock dropped. I bought them for less money. I got to keep the difference. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, where do you see the total calls versus puts? It's $PCALL. So you have to type in that $PCALL. This is the P call, the put to call ratio, right? So we can see that when we're over this 1, there are substantially more puts than calls in the market. When we are below this 0.3, right, that 0.3, there are more calls than puts in the market. To keep this simple, when we are above the 1 threshold, right, like right now today, we are above this 1. That means there are more puts than calls in the market, and typically we see the markets bounce, right? The markets are too bearish, and they bounce. When you see it below this 30, that means the markets are too bullish and they drop, right? Not 100% of the time, but it's a good gauge on what the markets could do, especially how overextended are you? Remember that COVID crash? Look at the P call. But remember how sharply we moved back up? We had way too many puts in the market. The market was way too bearish. And that all started into February and for like 3 weeks in March, right? Remember that the market was dumping. right? There were so many more puts than calls in the market, and you see how aggressive the market rebounded because the market was too bearish. So it bounced, and it bounced huge. So the P call is a good gauge. It's a good gauge on how bullish or how bearish the market is. And when it's over that 1, that tells us that there were more puts than calls in the market. So, what are my top stocks of the day? What are my top stocks of the day? Okay, so my top stocks of the day are going to be number 1, KZIA above $6. REV, if we can break above 362, I think it looks great. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Maybe some REV action. I'm definitely watching ADN out of the gate here for that possible descending triangle, short back down the 3 and then 280. Or we see it hold support, break the downtrend, and start ripping to 4 and then 448. So definitely watching ADN. And I'm still going to be watching SIDU as well. If it does bounce back up into that 690 at some point today, and it hits that downtrend as resistance, I'm looking to short this once again back down into this 580 level. Couple of back burners, AERC, ATHX, and then for large caps, option plays for today, it's definitely going to be the SPY. It's definitely going to be the Qs. I'm a little sad right now. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little sad that this all started happening in pre-market. I was really hoping this would have happened after the market opened, so you guys could have taken those puts, and I was actually going to take puts as well. I have my account fully funded with a small options account, so I'm going to start dabbling with some options with you guys now inside of chat. So I'm going to have some fun with it. I don't expect to make a lot of money with it, to be completely honest with you, because I suck at options. But if I can try and master that skill set, and if I can become more profitable consistently with options, I'll start trading options more consistently with larger amounts of money. So I threw a few $100 in a separate account, and I'm going to just start getting my feet wet again with options, right? And if I can refine that consistency, you may see me trading more options with larger amounts of money. But right now, starting small, having some fun. Don't really expect a lot to come from it, as I'm an equity trader. I trade shares, guys, right? That's just my bread and butter. But I'm going to give it a shot and have some fun with you guys, all right? So the market opens in 20 seconds. Again, we're looking at the SPY and the Qs. Out of the gate, give it 5-10 minutes as we already cracked out of that really clean formation. But out of the gate, team, we're going to be watching KZIA, REV, ADN, and SIDU. But let's go ahead and start with, I would say KZIA out of the gate. KZIA out of the gate, I would say, is going to be our number 1 watch to get this day going. So the market is now open. We are all set, ready to rock. We are all set, ready to roll. Let's have a fun day in the markets. And let's make it happen, and let's lock in some fantastic profits today, guys. We might have another short on SIDU coming on up, guys. If you see me jumping back into SIDU, you know why. All right, if we start popping up to that 690 level, I would look to short this once again over on SIDU. Get SIDU would have to hit that 690 area for me to even get a short here. But if that first candle would have popped all the way into the 690s, I absolutely would have shorted that stock. MREO has room to 148 with support back down at 104. We're watching KZIA right now, already on that breakout scanner. AERC was one of my back burners. If AERC doesn't lose 1764, this is solid, guys. I mean, in all seriousness, this is solid. I typed this up inside the chat today. It was very thorough. That as long as we hold above 1760 support, I love this stock. It's very consistent. It's absolutely ripped. It's been on fire for the past 3 weeks. Yes, the red days are getting much larger, but overall, we see much more consistency to the upside. I think we got one more green day in us. I think there's one more green day in us. So if we hold above 1764 on AERC, I do believe we can see the stock back up to 20, and I do believe we'll see it breaking 20 up towards around those prior highs from this week, around 23 bucks. So high watch AERC today above that 1764. Like I said, I think it'll break 20, and I would not be surprised if we see the stock in the 23s at some point today. So I'm jumping in on KZIA here for a red to green move. KZIA for the possible red to green move. Want to see if we can start breaking that open and start squeezing here a little bit off that red to green move. What's my cost basis? 620. It's got to start squeezing here up through VWAP. Again, possible red to green move on KZIA. Just jumping in real quick to see if we get that nice red to green move here. There's 625. Let's see it start squeezing here. Let's take a little bit of profits. Let's do the right thing. That was a very quick trade. I'm scaling out, scaling out, scaling out little by little. Again, I do not want to take a good trade to a red trade, but right now that's starting to give a lot back a lot quicker than I thought. I'm scaling out. I'm scaling out. Man, that didn't follow through. That sucks. Well, it doesn't really stink. I mean, quick spike, but I was too slow to scale out. That's how fast that was. I was way too slow to scale out. I only got a good chunk off the table at like 630. The rest of it came off the table at my cost basis, which stinks. That most of it came off the table at my cost basis. So I'm out. I'm out of KZIA. I jumped in very quickly for the red to green move, looking for it to really take on off, and it just got hit hard very quickly to the downside. And it came back down so quick that I only had a chance to take a piece off the table, and I made 94 bucks. That would have been a killer trade, though, guys. if that red to green move would have actually followed through. I mean, look at that volume. We had the volume. Red to green move right off support. If that would have just opened up the way it should have, that would have been a fantastic trade. Absolutely grabbing so much out of that. You could have seen this all the way back up in the 670s. So that's a little unfortunate. But still on watch here. I still like the potential it has over 6. So I still do like the potential it has over $6. If you can really start to break the open, let's go, baby. Let's go. If you can really break that open at 625 and see a nice close, right? See a nice candle closure above that 625. I think there's so much potential today here on KZIA. So high watch still at this time, KZIA. The reason I got out is because I was looking for a red to green move, and I know how red to green moves should play on out. That didn't play out like a red to green move. I simply walked away. Again, if you guys are looking at MREO, your target is 148 today. That's going to be your target, is that 200-day moving average of 148 here on MREO. Don't get greedy. Lock in profits when you know you should. REV's fading. ADN's trying to bounce. SIDU, nothing here. AERC, very choppy. KZIA is the nicest looking stock at this point in time. This is the one that we're focused on right now, is KZIA, and it's easy to borrow. Is KZIA easy to borrow on mainstream brokers? Check your broker right now. Is KZIA easy to borrow on your mainstream broker? It's always nice to check these things out. It's hard to borrow, but there are shares to short. There are only 10,000 shares to short on the stock with Fidelity, so very limited short. When you say short it, you mean sell. So in a sense, that's how it works. In a sense, that's how it works. You're taking shares from somebody, right? You're borrowing shares from somebody that owns the stock. You don't own it. So, Michael, think of it like Martin. Let's say Martin owned this stock. Okay. You say, yo, Martin, let me borrow your shares. So Martin's going to let you borrow his shares and you're going to sell them to the market at the current price and you're going to put some money in your pocket, right? The stock goes down $1. You're going to take some of that money from your pocket to rebuy those shares and say, hey, Martin, here are your shares back. Thank you for letting me borrow them for a few days. But you got that difference in cash in your pocket, right? You sold those shares for $6,000. You put $6,000 in your pocket. The next day, you could rebuy those shares for $5,000. So you take your $6,000. There's the $5,000 to buy those shares back. You got $1,000 in your pocket, right? Hey, Martin, here are your 1,000 shares back, and here is a $100 thank you for letting me borrow those shares. You just got to keep that difference of $900. So that's, in a sense, how shorting works, but it's all an automated process. You don't have to worry about actually selling the shares. You don't have to worry about receiving the credit come in your account. It's all automated. It's all behind the scenes. You hit short, you're in a short position. The goal is to rebuy those shares at a lower cost, and you get to keep that difference. So what's up with ELMS? This was one stock I did not talk about because this stock did not have any news. And it was just a really random bounce. There was no news. There was no filings. It had already rejected the gap fill yesterday. This is why I wasn't looking at ELMS, is because we already filled the gap yesterday and had a nasty rejection off that 20 EMA. So big rip, nasty rejection. You guys were talking to me about this one yesterday as well. I said it's not worth your time. Don't buy it up here at 48, 49 cents. It's filling the gap and it's hitting the 20 EMA. And what did it do? It dumped yesterday. It dumped all the way back down to 28 cents. I still think at this point in time, it's not worth your time. Now, if it's breaking over 50 cents and actually holding over 50 cents, looking strong, all right, let's take a look at it. But again, right now, you're not touching this under 50 cents at all. Too risky. Way too risky. How's the spine to Qs doing right now out of the gate? So you got that pre-market double bottom right here. That's a level to keep on watch. That's a little bit of a level to keep on watch right here, those highs. Let's see what happens here. We do have the SPY sitting above that VWAP. We have the SPY sitting above that 9 EMA, and we do have that 9 EMA crossing the VWAP as well. That's a pretty bullish setup. You got that 9 EMA crossing the VWAP on the 5 as well. I like this potential setup above the 9 EMA, above the VWAP. Nice big green candle out of the gate. This one's going to start breaking probably up to 368. But here's the one reason I'm not touching it. You know, it looks good intraday, but one of the reasons I'm not touching it is look at that trend line that we just cracked. We're coming back up to that trend line. So old trend line support is trend line resistance, right? So, I mean, while I think it's going to push here, and it kind of pushed a little bit, it's actually not a little bit, a lot. I mean, you got a little bit of over $1 push here. It was looking great. But I just see a lot of resistance at that orange line. Now, if I didn't have that orange line here and I saw it all the way up to 369, I would definitely have taken that trade because I see potential to the 369s. But I see resistance right here at that orange trend line. And that was the trend line that we cracked from this bearish flag. So that was one of the reasons I was not going to take it. But I definitely like it right now to the long side. Not a lot with small caps right now. Small caps are a little dead. Small caps are kind of slow, but you have AERC at this point in time. And I'm telling you what, guys, AERC is a stock that doesn't play around. When it rips, it rips. When it moves, it moves. This stock is a fun stock to trade. This stock is a very rewarding stock to trade. So I definitely want to keep this on high watch, guys. I definitely want to be watching AERC coming on up. Crypto Cole locking in some profits. Very nice. Johnny Holmes locking in some profits as well over in Profit Chat. Finally hit my goal for the day. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Way to make it happen. If you guys were jumping in on the SPY there, definitely scale out here. If you guys were getting in there on the SPY as that 9 EMA was crossing that VWAP, beautiful, beautiful pullback as well. Just clean and consistent. I mean, that was awesome. I don't know if you guys were taking that trade, but it was a great trade to take if you were taking it. Definitely scale out here. Definitely lock in some profits, but your next level should be 369.40 on where you're looking to lock in a little bit more profits here. If you guys don't understand what made that a very just killer trade, just let me know. If you don't know why this was like a super clean, just amazing trade, let me know, and I'll walk you through it step by step. But that was beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. When I see a beautiful trade and we're talking about it, I want you guys to understand. I mean, you have about 4 separate reasons here on the SPY. Right? You have about 4 separate reasons. This was a really, really just good looking trade. And I'm going to explain it. All right. So number 1, you see how we have some resistance right here in pre-market, right? So we crack this level, we bounce on up, and we establish this level of resistance. And it's validated as resistance when we come back here a few more times before dropping back down. So we see that we have resistance, correct? We have resistance. Would you guys agree? We have resistance there, right around 366.64. So we open on up. First candle's green. Second candle, we see that it's still resistance because we push right back below that level. We try to break above. We get rejected right back down below. But then we break that level. And then we move higher off that level. So number 1, we just broke above that level of resistance. And we want to now see resistance turn into support. So what do we see? We see the break of resistance and it turns into support. So number 1, right? So number 1, this is reason number 1. We have a stock that just broke over resistance and it turned into support. So you have a break and retest, number 1, okay? Number 2, what else do we notice? We also notice that support is, the stock is finding support right at this blue line. What's the blue line? The blue line is our 9 EMA. What's the 9 EMA? It's a very popular indicator that a lot of traders use, and they use it as levels of support and resistance, okay? So that's number 2. The stock is sitting right at the 9 EMA, and the 9 EMA is support, okay? Number 3, this gray line is the VWAP. The VWAP is another popular indicator as well. The VWAP is a level of support and resistance. So what are we also doing? We're not just breaking resistance and pulling back as support, but we're also pulling back to the VWAP and the 9 EMA. 1, 2, 3 separate reasons right then and there, right? There's 3 separate reasons at that point in time. Number 4, we know that when the 9 EMA crosses the VWAP, it's considered to be bullish on higher time frames. So I see this 9 EMA VWAP cross on the 1. I'm curious, is it crossing on the 5? Because if it is, that is a sign of bullishness. So I'm starting to see that cross on the 5-minute time frame, right? I'm seeing that cross on a 3-minute time frame, and the 3 minutes a very powerful time frame as well. So number 5, what do we have? We have a 9 EMA VWAP cross, which is considered to be bullish. And then number 6, yes, there's that many reasons. What formation is this? What formation is a spike on up, period of consolidation, and another leg to the upside? You have a bull flag. So not only do you have a bull flag, you have those other 4 to 5 separate reasons that suggest this is a killer trade. You got the bull flag, you got the 9 EMA VWAP cross on every time frame. The stock is holding the 9 EMA and the VWAP, and it just broke and held that prior level of resistance as new support. Low risk, fantastic reward trade. That's why that was a good trade. And as long as this 9 EMA holds on the SPY, if you have a runner on the table, you're still good to run the SPY above the 9 EMA. So as long as you hold that 9 EMA on the SPY, you are good to go. Morgan, does that pertain to the SPY? Your question, Morgan? Would you be worried about a reversal pattern, double top? Are you asking based on that example and based on that breakdown of the good reasoning behind that trade? Correct? Just tuned in. Again, I'm not going to try and predict what's going to happen next. So if I would become worried about a reversal pattern, I'm predicting that that may happen, and that's going to keep me out of the trade. So at that point in time, I'm not trying to think what's going to happen in the future. I'm just going to react on what's happening right now. Does that make sense? I see a bullish formation. I see 6 reasons that are confirming a long entry. Right now, I'm going to react. Okay, now if it comes on up and it starts forming a double top, and I see that, I'm going to react and get out. But if I see 7 reasons to take a long position, and then I think, what if it's a double top? What if that happens? You're going to talk yourself out of the trade. You're not going to take it. You're going to miss your opportunities. So what do? We do not predict the future. We're not predicting what if. What if this happens? We are simply going to react if that happens. 6 reasons to go long. React. Now, if you start to see that double top form in the moment at that point in time, and you're like, okay, there's a double top. I don't like this. React and get out of that trade. My gosh, you guys are throwing up profits on profits on profits on freaking profits and profits, chat. Absolutely, 100%. I just want to make sure that makes sense, all right? So again, try not to predict, well, what if that's a double top, right? Well, what if it's not, right? What if it is? It runs up, it double tops, it comes back down to your cost basis, you get out, break even, right? If you're buying it right here, and it runs on up, and you see the double top, and it's coming back down, you have plenty of time to react to get out and not lose any money, or lose just a little bit, or actually make a little bit. But again, what if it doesn't double top? Well, you just took yourself a beautiful winning trade, and you locked up, $1.50 a share. $1.50 a share, which is beautiful. So do not predict, simply react. So right now, a little bit of a head and shoulders formation on ELMS. I don't like it. MREO is a little too slow. KZIA is not doing anything. REV is trying to grind on up. It's got to break that 360 first. ADN still has good potential. How's AERC doing? AERC, I do like AERC as well. We just need more volume on AERC. And we need to start to see that break of the downtrend first on ADN. But again, I'm really digging this shorts on SIDU. So I'm watching SIDU right around the $7 area, 690 to 7. See if we do hit that downtrend, get rejected. See if we hit that 690 prior support level as new resistance and get rejected. And then see if we can start dumping on off here on SIDU. And I would look for another really nice trade here on SIDU. Not yet, though. But right now, the SPY looks fantastic to 369. The Qs look really nice as well here, team. Nice bounce out of the gate. So here's your resistance levels. Let's go ahead and get you guys prepared on the SPY and the Qs. Now, yesterday's high is going to be a level of resistance, and yesterday's high is 276. And then, was that Wednesday's low? That was Wednesday's low. Wednesday's low of 276.59. So you're going to have a little bit of resistance between those two levels, 276 and 276.59. You got some pretty strong resistance. But then you could really start to push on up. You could really start to see some bigger moves. 277.70, 278.70, right? 279. So you can definitely see this thing open on up over that 276.59 first. You're going to have a little bit of resistance between 276, 276.50. But over those two levels, that's when you can start really opening on up to that 277.70 and then 278.60. And I would just put my stop underneath the prior low. If you have a runner on the table right now, I would simply put a stop loss below a prior low. That's so weird. So I'm watching AERC here, guys. AERC for the break over 20. AERC for the break over 20. So right now, team, AERC off 19 above the VWAP. Let's see if we can start to open on up, push up to that 20 level, and see if we can start to pop over 20 bucks here on AERC. You have that VWAP as support. You're right above 19 as well. You got some slightly higher highs, but you got these nice higher lows. Looking to see if we can pop on up towards around $20 here on AERC. And then if we can start to break 20, we do know we can run up towards around 23, 27-ish on AERC. So let's see if we can start to see some buyers step on in. See if we can start to see some volume move on in and get that quick little pop up towards around possibly once again that $20 level here on AERC. Just watching this right now. Definitely interested though. Want to see if we can get that break up through 1950, but it could be a little bit of this choppy head and shoulders at the same time. So it could be a really ugly head and shoulders formation. So again, if, you know, this doesn't start breaking on out here, your stop's got to go right under 19 bucks. Stops need to go right under 19 bucks. If you don't start breaking up through 20 here and you start coming back down to 19, that's a sign of weakness. You probably want to go ahead and get out of that completely, as it's looking like it'd be a little bit of a head and shoulders formation on AERC. Be looking like a little bit of a head and shoulders formation. So right now, we are looking long on this over 1950 to 20. Definitely looking long on this over that level of 1950. We're looking for this to squeeze up to 20 and then obviously break 20 here on AERC. There's 1960. We've got a 1940 cost basis. There's 1960 on the bid. We don't want to see the buyers fall back below 1950 at this point in time. We want to see it squeeze right up to 20. We want to see it squeeze over 20 in a perfect world. Again, maximum stop loss is under 19. I wouldn't let it go below 19. I wouldn't let it come all the way back down to 19. If we don't see it just open on up and through 20 here, I'm not really digging it. I don't like it. I'll walk away from it. I want to see these buyers stay above 1960. We want to see this go ahead and break $20 coming on up to really get this thing going. There's 1968 on the bid. We are long at 1940. That's our cost basis, 1940. Looking for the squeeze up to 20 and through 20. You do not want to see the buyers dropping back below 1950. That is a sign of weakness. Let's see if we got 1960 on the bid, 1950. It was a decent little pop there. Again, I say decent. It was a decent little pop there. The ask is at 1950. If the ask falls below 1950, I'm out of this completely. There's 1955 on the ask, 1949 on the bid. My cost basis is 1941. We want to see it push right up to 20 and over 20, guys. That's it. We don't want to see it struggle. You don't want to see it back down at $19. If you do, it's going to crack and probably dump. You want to see this go ahead and squeeze through 20. There's one more attempt, 1960 on the bid, 1970 on the ask. We're still holding at a 1941 cost basis here on AERC. Let's see if we can squeeze through 20 and get an opportunity to lock in some profits. If not, I'm going to go ahead and walk away. The spreads are opening on up. I do not like the spreads right now. I'm thinking about walking away. I'm going to walk away. These spreads are horrendous. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I don't like the spread opening up like that. The spreads were nice and tight. When the spread opens up like that, it takes a few orders to really tank the stock. I'm out. I'm 100% out. When the spread opens up like that, it takes a couple orders to tank the stock. I'm out. I made $30. I made $30. Fantastic. Hey, green's green. So my fill was at 1941. My fill was at 1947 to the sell side. When I saw the spread open up 30 cents, I said, nope, not today. Takes one order to dump the stock. If it was going to break, it should have broken. I'm not going to risk it dumping $1 on me. I'm going to walk away for now. That spread, yeah, that spread didn't bite me, very fortunately. But yeah, I went ahead and got out. I'm not taking the risk on a large spread. When you got a nice tight spread of like 5 cents and the spread opens 30 plus cents, yeah, screw that. I'm out. Absolutely. I'm walking away. I'm walking away. If it breaks, it breaks. I don't even care. If it rips, it rips. That's fine. We'll find another opportunity in the market. We will absolutely find another opportunity in the market. I made $28.62. I made $28.62. My goodness, that's awesome. That's amazing. So right now, KZIA is pretty dead. Yeah, we're hitting at 362 on REV. Yes, that's a true level of resistance. It's coming right from the chart. 362, also right around that 20 EMA. So you need to break 362 to really see this thing take on off. Okay, you really need to break 362 for this thing to really get that next leg up to 4 and then maybe 483. Looks like you're going to start breaking 20 here on AERC. I could have held it a little bit longer, but at that point in time, I don't know. There was something about it, guys. With that spread opening on up, I've seen that story 1,000 times. The spread opens on up, you hold just a little too long, and then it just dumps. I'm not willing to take that chance. I'd rather get out and watch the stock rip versus holding on to the trade and watching it dump and realizing I should have gotten out. That was the right decision. I wasn't confident. I didn't like it. I walked away. Could I have made money? Absolutely. Could I have lost my shirt? Yeah, absolutely. But we may have our short coming on up on SIDU. You're at $20 now on AERC. Looks like you're breaking 20, 20.04. If it doesn't squeeze through 20 and it starts to reject and starts to dump, I'd be getting out. You're up 50 to 60 cents a share. If you held that a little bit longer, you're up 50 to 60 cents a share. You're at 20.10 on the bid now. Looking good for that $20 break. So we can take ATHX off the watch list. AERC was looking good, but again, the spread definitely concerned me on that one. I'm still watching SIDU for my shorts coming on up. I'm still watching ADN for my shorts coming on up as well. So I would look to shorts ADN, and I would look to short SIDU, ADN. I think we may have a short coming on up a little bit sooner than later. But then we have SIDU. That could be a good short here in the next few moments as well. So right now I'm a little 50-50 between the two. I don't know. I mean, I see ADN and I see SIDU, and they both look really good shorts. I can't pick and choose. I don't know. They both look great. Probably going to go with ADN. It's cheaper. I can get more size, and there's still plenty of room to drop. So I will probably go with maybe ADN, and I'm going to be looking to see if we fail to squeeze. So if we fail to squeeze here into a new higher high, and we do get rejected and start to crack below 350, I am going to short ADN below 350 if we fail to squeeze over 365. So again, if we fail to squeeze here over 365 and put in a higher high, I am going to short this back below 350 on ADN, back down towards around 330. I'm not in yet. And then SIDU. I haven't touched SIDU yet. I haven't touched ADN, as you guys can see. Again, I'm very particular on my entries and when I get in. And I have to see this fail to squeeze over that 365. And if we start seeing some selling volume move in, back below the VWAP, back below 350, I am looking to jump in for a possible short. And I see SIDU as well. SIDU is looking good for a short as well. Let's do this. Let's take our focus away. Is there anything with ELMS, team? No. Anything with MREO? Not right now, team. KZIA? That's too choppy. REV? You guys are waiting for this thing to get above 360. You're waiting for this thing to prove itself above 360. ADN? I am not sure. SIDU? I'm not sure on this either. We're starting to squeeze back on up here. Here's ADN coming on up. ADN coming on up. Wow, I came into that really late. I came into that really late here. But I still feel okay for that 350 crack. I came in really late. 351 cost basis. My cost basis should have been much better than that. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it right now. I'll play with it. Let's see if we can crack 350, but the cost base, oh man, I don't know why I took my focus off that. That was silly. But we got a short right now. We are short. If it doesn't start to crack below 350 here, I'm not going to hold it too long and watch it bounce back up over 360. I have about 5,000 shares. Looking for this crack below 350. I'm not going to hold it too long just because of my position. But, I mean, I can let it breathe a little bit, but I'm way too late on the short. When I started to see that price action, mid-350s would have been a great entry. Mid-350s would have been a killer entry. Looks like we're going to crack here, so we're going to have some fun. We're going to get that crack coming on up. Let's see if we get that crack coming on up. Crack at 350, down to like 340 and 330. Nice rejection up there, starting to crack that trend line a little bit. Let's see these sellers crack this through 350. I love how it's easy to borrow as well. No locate fees. Just need this maybe crack about 10 to 20 cents. That's it. I already dumped 15 cents. I know we already dumped 15 cents. I get it. I'm asking for another 15 to 20 ADN, but right now, I think you may bounce here off 350. And the fact that I think you may bounce here off 350 is the reason why I'm going to go ahead and reduce my risk a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of off the table. I see some big buyers moving in, guys. The fact that we're just sitting at 350 and we just kind of stalled and we're not really budging off 350, you could see a big pop. And I'm not going to hold this for a 10-cent pop, as I feel like I'm a little late to the trade, but I still want to give it a chance to see if we can continue to, basically crack through 350 and go on that next leg down towards around 336 and then 326 here on ADN. So right now I do have a small little short here looking for the crack of 350. But you got some big buyers sitting right there at 350, guys. You do have a couple big old buyers sitting right at 350. So if we don't start to budge and basically break down those buyers and strip their orders out, and we start to see them increase and move above 350, I'm going to get out of this trade regardless of what happens. Regardless of it dumping, regardless of anything, if we don't start to crack through this wall of buyers, I'm going to go ahead and just walk away from this. As, again, I feel like I'm just a little too late. And we're just stalling at 350 a little too long. So we're not really budging on the buy side. So you still see we have about 14,000 shares at 350. That's the top order, 14,000 shares. And we can see his order is not moving. That order is not budging. So that's telling me that we do not see anybody coming in selling. It's pretty stagnant. What do we have here on the time and sales? We don't see any huge orders coming in. Now we're starting to see it pick up a little bit. There's some red orders, but they're not huge. There's some bigger red orders. There we go. Now we're cracking. There's the crack. There's the drop. Let's take a little bit of profit. I don't even know what I'm up right now. I just see a big old crack. Are we going to keep dropping? What's my cost basis? 348. What do I have? 5,000 shares? Let's see if we can crack 340. I'm going to hold this a little bit longer, see if we can crack 340 here. I want to see if we can crack down to, what's that low? 336. That's another level, 336. And then down at low a day, 326. My cost basis looks to be 348. I did double down. I clicked that button really fast as we started to crack through that bid. Right, we were talking about that bid and how that buyer wasn't getting taken out. Then we start to see all those red orders come through on the time and sales. And we start to see that bid order taken out. I went ahead and doubled down through the crack of 350. And I'm happy I did. But it did bring my cost basis down a little bit to 348. So I have to play it tight. I was getting out at 341, 342. But I do need to play it tight now. And I'm not going to let this go back above my cost basis of 348. I definitely think we can get another 5 cents to the downside. There's 341. Here we go. Can we get that other 3 cents, 4 cents to the downside? $342. Give it a few more moments here. I'm going to give it a few more moments. I do think we could still crack on down below 340. I mean, it's only 5 cents, but 5 cents is 5 cents. 5 cents is 5 cents. Especially when I'm going to get smacked with commissions and fees. I'll take my extra 5 cents a share. That'll offset those wild EC and fees and taking liquidity because I don't do limit orders. All right, so let's see if we can get that crack. One more leg down. I'm like 50-50 with it, 50-50 with it, but I'm still going to give it a chance here. I have a cost basis of 348 on ADN, 348 ADN. Looking to see if we can get another 5 cent crack. And if it's a nice big crack, we could even see this back at the 525 level here on ADN. Again, I hope everybody understands why I took this short, why I was looking at the short, why I got in, what I did, how I managed it, all that good stuff, right? I tried to be as thorough as possible before, during, and after. I wanted to make sure you understood what I was thinking of before the trade. I want to make sure you understand what I was doing during the trade, reading the level 2, the time and sales, why I added my position, and why I'm now simply scaling out. And I'm out. What'd I make? $500. Okay. Not the big profit I was looking for. I was looking for quite a bit more than that. But again, I feel like I was a little too late to the trade. And by the time I added in, brought my cost basis down, but I was able to turn a nice little profit out of that. I mean, I just took my focus away, and I completely missed that initial flush. So it's all good. Green's green, though, baby. Green's green. Anyone else see a weird price action on the SPY options? I'm seeing bids higher than ask, and the last price is not in the range of the spreads nor the orders getting filled at the higher ask. I'm around. Yes, huge glitch right in the market. I do see some goofiness on random strikes. Bids higher than asks. The bid is a few cents higher than the bid. Market makers having a field day with the triple witching. Definitely, you know, the triple witching, all the extra volatility. Volume in the market could throw that off a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what you guys are seeing. Are they today? I'm sure they're today's expirations. Yeah, you do see some weirdness. Yeah, you got the bid higher than the ask. Yeah, you got the bids higher than the ask. I mean, that's going out 4 days as well. Look at going out 5 days out. It's the same thing, going 5 days out. Go 7 days out. It's not as bad 7 days out. 7 days out, it's a little bit better, but it's still close. Go 10 days out. I mean, shoot, you still see it 10 days out. Go 12 days out. Not as bad, but it's still, yeah. Again, don't ask me. I don't know, guys. I don't know what would be causing that. So we're on fire on Friday, dude. It's Friday. I never do good on Fridays. My goodness, today's a killer day so far. I'm really liking the market and the opportunities it's providing. So I'm really liking the market and the opportunities that that is providing. So I know it's very fast paced today, guys. I know it's very fast paced, but sometimes that's how small caps are. You got to be zoned in. You got to be focused. You got to be on top of it, right? You see something, it could start moving. You got to be prepared. I already had my plan drawn up on ADN. I feel like I was a little too late, but it's okay. I still took the trade. It was still a winner. What else did we have today? We had KZIA for the red to green. It just didn't play on out, but it was still a small winner. But the nice one today was SIDU. And I missed that trade on SIDU, but it's okay. It's okay. You can't catch them all. But I was all over SIDU. What did I say? Below 690, cracking the trend line. Okay, I said if we do not break that downtrend and we do not hold above 690, or we stay below 690 and we crack that trend line, that's a short. Well, guess what it just did? Fell back below 690, couldn't get back above the trend line, got rejected off that massive downtrend. Boom. We're currently down about 30 cents a share. That was a nice short on SIDU. And you still have room down to 650. I mean, that was a decent trade on AERC. I know I got out quick. I got out very quick. I didn't like the spread. It was a winner. But again, I didn't like what I was seeing at that point in time. Does anybody inside the chat have any questions as far as, you know, the trades I took today? Is anybody like confused on SIDU and what I saw and why I took it? Is anybody confused on ADN, what I saw and why I took the trade? Is anybody confused on KZIA, why I took it, and then why I got out when I did? Again, do you guys any questions at all? You've seen me trade 3 tickers today, right? KZIA with the call out, and I got out quick. I wasn't liking the price action, didn't follow through. All right, SIDU, called that out this morning in pre-market, told you guys where I was shorting it. and where I was taking profit, and we see that play out beautifully. And then ADN here today, why I was getting in, why I was shorting the stock, where I was taking profits, and how I managed the trade, and how I read the level 2 and the time and sales during my trades. So today was a good day to pay attention. Today was a good day to listen, in my opinion, just to observe the trading and really just learn, what goes through my mind in real time. Level 2 analysis, that time and sales, the chart, the price action, the volume, how I'm getting into trades, how I'm scaling out, how I'm getting back in. I just want to make sure that everything makes sense. I know it was a little fast-paced because, again, there was things moving very, very quickly, and I was on top of it very quickly. So it may have came off as a little faster paced than normal, but that's why I'm willing to step back, do a review, slow it down so it makes sense. Other trades were great. Disney and Q's this morning, locked in and can't leave, currently on SPY. I would call the broker. I will call the broker and be like, hey, what's going on? So this does happen. Just so you guys know that on days of heightened volatility and on days where there's a lot of abnormal volume in the market, sometimes the servers that the brokers use to pull data from, sometimes those servers get boggled. They're bogged up, right? They get slowed down a little bit. And that causes the data to slow, and that causes sometimes the platform to seem like it's buggy and it's slow, but it's just the data. It's the servers, they pulled the data and the quotes through. And we've noticed that during COVID. When COVID and we had those crazy volatile days, like it seemed like every day there was glitches with brokers and platforms. It was completely normal. That could be it. And that's weird. Yeah, they ask you that. I mean, I don't know if that's correct, if that's incorrect, what's going on. Again, that's new to me. I don't do options, guys. This is why I don't do options. Not really. This is one of the reasons why I don't do options. Like, there's so many reasons why I don't do options. I mean, I'm going to add this to my bucket list of why I don't trade options. Right on. All right, team. Hey, so for those of you that were waiting for the REV 360 break, whoop, whoop, you just got it. You got your break over 360, and what made that a good break, guys? It was on very strong volume. Very nice volume. So you can look for a break and retest. You could look for this to be a momentum play. There's so many things to see here. So you could have your break over 362 and your retest to 362 for an entry. If you don't think it's going to be a break and retest because you think it's more momentum, right? You break, now you pull back to the 9 EMA. You start to curl on up, a little bit of a U-shape. You break over 390, and you start ripping higher. So you could wait for it to come down to 360 for the break and retest. You can be buying right here off the 9 EMA if you think it's going to be more of a momentum play, that it's going to bounce off the 9 EMA and rip over 4, which is very possible. Or you wait for it to come back down towards this trend line and play the trend line. We got 3 different plays and 3 different opportunities in front of you right now, but it all comes down to supports at 360, baby. If you crack below 360, you don't want to be in this trade whatsoever. Thou does not speak badly about options. Matt, dude, like, I speak badly about options because I never have anybody to offend. You're never in chat, so I can't offend you if you're not here. But if you're here, then I need to make sure that I'm like, all right, is Matt in chat today? Because if Matt's in chat, I'm only talking good things about options. Oh my gosh, options are the best. Options are the best trading vehicle ever. The theta, I love the theta on 0 DTEs. I just love it. I love how the theta destroys these contracts the same day. I love it. I just love it. It's so awesome. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you guys. No, I do like options. I do. I do like options. I like the potential to grow small accounts with options. I like how you can make triple-digit returns and the SPY can move like 2%. I love it. What I don't like is if I'm right on a trade, literally, if I'm right on a trade, I could still lose money. If I swing trade something and it moves up in post-market, pre-market, I want to get out, I can't. Yeah, that's just, I think that's the biggest thing is, being able to manage the risk the way I want to, like swing trading overnight, on an option, and I want to take profit, say, in pre-market. I can't do that, which stinks. And I don't like how, you could literally be on the right side of an equities trade. Like if I took that trade with shares, I would be winning, but with options, I could actually be losing. That to me just doesn't click with my mind and how it works. And that's why I've just never pursued to really master options. I know the basics. I can buy a call and sell a call for money. I can buy a put, sell a put for money. I'll go sell some cash secured puts on companies that I want to buy 100 shares of anyway. And that's all I do. But like I said this morning, you're going to see me doing more options trading as I do have a options account. But I'm definitely not going to start that account today. You got me out of my mind, right? You think, no. Today, no, not going to happen. Not on a Friday, number one. Not on a triple witching day, number two. I am absolutely not trying options again today. No, I'll start Tuesday. But all right, team, we're getting ready to wrap up our day. It's 10:30. You guys know how we do it on Fridays. We come in, we have fun, we get you guys prepared, we identify the opportunity, and we make it happen. We lock in some profits. So what do? We came in, we knew exactly where to be looking. Boom. We locked in some profits. It's only 10:30, and now we're going to enjoy our weekend and come back on this beautiful Tuesday and see what we have going on to continue to rock and roll, to lock in some profits, baby. And I am excited for what's to come. I'm excited. I'm just excited. That's it. I'm excited. You'll find out why very, very soon. What do you mean triple witching day? Today's triple witching. AZJ dub. So triple witching happens 4 times a year at the end of the quarter. So it's going to happen in March. It's going to happen in June. It's going to happen in September. It's August. No, September. And then, yeah, I'm thinking of every quarter, right? The end of every quarter. It's going to happen 4 times a year on the 3rd Friday of the month. That's when futures contracts expire. That's when stock index options expire. And that's when stock options expire. Stock index and option. Yes. Again, I probably just butchered that. Like, big time. I think I butchered that. Like, big time. Stock options, stock index futures, and stock index options. Yeah, so stock index options, stock options, and then futures contracts all expire on the same day. That is the 3rd Friday of the month every quarter. So that's going to be the 3rd Friday in March, in June, in September, and in December. It just brings in more volatility and more volume into the market on those days. That's what triple witching is. You have people that say quad witching. You have triple witching. There's another term I've heard before. But yeah, that is what that is. Take a look at the 640 put option on Tesla. I had to leave. I'll be back Tuesday. You say Tesla and I run, Matt. You say Tesla, I get tempted. I go look at it. I see a reason to trade it. I take a trade. I lose money. We don't talk about Tesla here inside the chat. We do not talk about Tesla inside a chat because I get tempted, baby. There's opportunity with Tesla. I love Tesla. But when I trade it, goes against me. I don't always trade Tesla, but when I do, it dumps. Stock trading, my friends. REV, that was a nasty little dump there. I'm not a fan of REV. The fact that we finally broke over that 362 level, nice little momentum play, trying to get that follow through just to dump. I don't like REV. I think it's a waste of your time. I think it's a waste of your time for sure. MREO. Do we have anything with MREO? You got a little bit of this trend line here on MREO. You got a little bit of this trend line. I do like it. It's not bad. You have this pullback. you bounce off the trend line, and you're coming down with a higher low. This is what you call an ABCD pattern. So some traders call this an ABCD pattern. It's bullish, and it's meeting that criteria to be an ABCD. So again, it consists of a leg up. That's A. Leg down like that. That's B. You get those bounces and pullbacks, right? That's C. And then you get those follow-throughs. That's D. So A, B, you got your bounce and your higher low. C, it's a momentum play. It curls, gets that leg up. Nice U-shape, nice break, nice rip. D. And what I like about this is you're sitting right at the trend line, right at the trend line, right at the trend line. And what else do I like about this? Not only are you sitting right at the trend line as support, you're sitting right at the VWAP, okay? And it's a higher low, and it's nothing but higher lows. So you got higher highs, you got higher lows. The trend is your friend. You're sitting right at trend line support. You're sitting right at VWAP support, and it's an A, B, C, D formation. You can put your stops underneath that low there at 120. Run this back up to 144 and 150. MREO doesn't look bad at all. So stops, maybe right under 120. You're looking to be a buyer off that trend line, off that VWAP, and you're looking for that to U-shape. Looking for that little U-shape, that curl, buyer step on in, get some momentum, boop, right up to like 144, 150. If you've never traded an ABCD formation before and this is new to you, don't trade it. Don't trade it. But if you traded these before and you're like, yeah, Josh, thank you for pointing that out. I didn't see that. I see it. That is an ABCD pattern. I love this setup. It looks juicy, clean, beautiful. There you go. Take your trade. If you're like, Josh, what's an ABCD pattern again? What'd you just say? How do I trade it? Don't trade it. Paper trade it, but don't trade it with a real account. Absolutely not. Yo, that's insane. What? Yo, that's insane on that option. Wow. That's nuts, Matt. That's nuts. That's wild. That's wild. Good job, team inside of chat. Good job on those profits. A lot of you guys are posting up some killer profits today. Corey locking in some good profits. Wicked Trader. We got George from the NYC. One tall, cool one. Woo, Crypto Cole. Keep locking in those profits inside of Profit Chat, team. I think it's out of sight, out of mind time, right? Like, I'm here. I feel like I'm on fire. I'm loving today. I'm just in the zone. I mean, everything's just going great. Trades actually going in my favor. Having expectations behind trades, actually playing on out the way I expect them to. Just today was a great day. Today was just a solid, just awesome day, and I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? You want to know what? I'm done for the day. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to give any profits back. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to anything. Not going to do anything. All right, so possible Oprah issue affecting option quotes. Update from the exchanges. That's the nice thing about premium brokers. So at 10:24, just so you know, we got an update from Lightspeed. Possible Oprah issue affecting option quotes. So that's what we have going on as Oprah, right? Affecting option quotes. There was an alert there on a broker. So again, just give you a heads up. That's what seems to be going on is Oprah issue affecting these option quotes. Currently waiting for the updates from the exchanges. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up. All right, team. So we're good. We're done. We're done. So, team, do we have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want to discuss, anything that you would like to talk about? Anything whatsoever before we go ahead and end our day and enjoy our weekend? If you guys are like, Josh, it's too early. Where are you going? I mean, I'll stick around for a little bit if you guys want. But, you know, typically we're done at 10:30, and I think you guys respect that, and I think you guys like that. We hit it hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We come in and we hit it extra hard Friday mornings. But then we enjoy our weekends. We enjoy the time that we have left of the day to review our trades, to prepare for next week, to recap, to get into that video lessons library, to study up. It's always good to disconnect. It's always good to do other things. There's more to stock trading than just money. There's freedom. The freedom that you can come in and make your money and then leave and go do whatever you want to do. And again, I think we've built a really good community and a really good mindset around there's more to stock trading than just the money that comes with it. There's the freedom aspect that I don't want you guys to lose sight of. I lost sight of that as a new trader, and I don't want you guys to lose sight of go outside and enjoy life. Stir. Absolutely cracked me up. Absolutely crack me up. So really quickly before we leave, what do we have going on? Well, the SPY reversed big time. It hit our top target of 369.43, and that trend line was still valid. Okay, so that trend line here was still valid from that initial bearish flag that we called out this morning. Then if we narrow this down into a 1-minute time frame, we see how we broke above it, we held it, we ripped up to our 369.43 target, and then we fell right back below that level. So since then, we've just been fading all the way back down to that 364.08, which is yesterday's lows. I do expect a little bit of a bounce here, okay, or at chop. Either A, it's going to bounce and shoot right up to 365.43, which I would expect a bounce, or we're going to sit here and kind of just chop around this level for a little bit. If we do crack, which I don't think we're to crack and dump. I just don't see cracking and dumping. I think more chop than anything, and I think you get a bounce first. I think you bounce here off this level back up to that 365.43, but I'm not trying to predict anything. I'm just thinking like that's what I would expect. That's what I would think. But if it does go ahead and just crack this level, it's going to come down to 362.11 next. That's your next level of support is 362.11. And then it's 359.64. Okay, resistance right now is 365.43. However, that 364 support level from yesterday, from today, could have just now turned into resistance. So if you see this pop back up to 364.08 and it fails to get back above, that is a break and retest, a crack and retest. You would want to go short down to 362.11. You'd want to go short down to 359.64. At any point in time you regain and get back above 364.08, that's when you want to think about playing maybe calls or just sitting out of this, because you'll probably see it bounce back up to 365.43. Genuinely asking Oprah, it's like options pricing or something like that. Options pricing, OP, options pricing, regulatory approval. Approval. What's OPRA? Corey posted a link. Options pricing, options price reporting authority. It's the committee of representatives from participating security exchanges responsible for providing last sale options quotations and information from the participating exchanges. Serving as a national market system plan, Oprah oversees the process by which participants exchange, consolidate, and disseminate market data. Oprah's two primary data feeds include trades and quotes. I could be a spokesperson for like their commercial. Oprah, giving you the quotes you need. Stay trading, my friends. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we had fun today. We had a great time. Do we have any final questions, comments, concerns? I want to always stick to our structure and always stick to our schedule and make sure that there's that consistency. But like I said, if you want me to stick around, if you have these questions, you need some help, I'm giving you that opportunity to ask me a question, to get some advice, to get a recommendation, to pick my brain. Again, this is your opportunity to say, hey, I need you real quick. I need some help. Let's do something, right? If everybody's like, yo, I'm done, right? The options world is weird, right? I can't trade options today. And you're like, I'm not trading. You're like, I'm already done trading for the day. I want to leave. If everybody's on the same page and everybody's like, yep, I'm out. I can't really trade anyway. Or am I going to trade? Not going to trade. Then again, I want to make sure that you guys are using your time wisely. Use this time to review your week, to review your day. Use this time to get into that video lessons library and study up. Use this time to enjoy life. Get outside. Go sit by the pool. Go take a walk. Go do something. Enjoy your time. Celebrate your week. Celebrate your success this week because you all did absolutely amazing. Keep up the awesome, awesome work.